welcome to the Journal. And on today's video, I'm going to talk about the latest news of Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is planning on leaving First Take. Not because he wants to, but because that's what they're gonna make him do. So when I first heard about the story, at first I heard about it on YouTube and I didn't know what to make of it because I didn't want to believe that it was true just yet. But then yesterday when I bought the New York Post and I found this article that supposedly Stephen A wanted Max Kellerman out for years from First Take. Now, I wasn't shocked about it, I really wasn't, because I felt that the show wasn't the same after Skip Bayless left. And although I like Max Kellerman, I think he's smart, he's intellectual. I've been a fan of him since HBO Boxing. He's great at boxing, at the way he analyzes things, and I love his opinions. The reality is that Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman are not great together as of the debate show. Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith were great together. I felt that the best years of First Take were from 2011 through 2013 because both of them were just amazing together. I felt like no other person can debate Stephen A. Smith like Skip Bayless. And besides, Skip Bayless has more years in the industry compared to Stephen A. Smith. Even though Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman don't have great chemistry on First Take, but I don't like the fact that Stephen A. Smith was disrespectful towards Max Kellerman in the show. I'm pretty sure that outside of First Take, Stephen A. Smith likes Max Kellerman, he respects him, etc., etc. But in the purpose of the debate show, I feel like Stephen A. Smith respected Skip Bayless more than Max Kellerman. And that's one of the two reasons why I stopped watching First Take, because number one, I just kept getting tired of Stephen A. Smith talking down to Max Kellerman like if he's his son and disrespect them, and also the fact that they were just not great together. And I'll give credit to Stephen A. Smith. He's a hard worker. He makes $12 million a year, and rightfully so, because he is the guy at ESPN. He's a draw. And he said it himself in an interview that I found on YouTube, which is almost like an hour long, and I highly recommend it. I'll put the link below on this video. He basically said that he feels that he's the Michael Jordan of the industry. Why? Because he feels that he's the one that makes you want to tune in. Now, even though he might feel that way, I do believe that he might go down as the most popular sports journalist in the industry. But in terms of just by the skill set of journalism, I still feel that he's not there in the level of, let's say, Howard Cosell and Brian Gumbel. For some of you who may not know, Skip Bayless, before First Take, it was Cold Pizza, and it was aired on ESPN too. So Skip Bayless was the reason why Stephen A. Smith is where he is right now in terms of being the MVP of the show First Take. Skip Bayless was the one who went to the boss and said, I want this guy. He's the guy that I want to debate with. And he did the same thing for Shannon Sharpe on Undisputed. And right now, Undisputed is way better than First Take. Skip Bayless is, his journalism resume compared to Shannon Sharpe is totally different and so much more. But at the end of the day, when he debates him, he respects him. Something that Stephen A. didn't do with Max Kellerman. And Max Kellerman has more journalism experience than Shannon Sharpe. I remember one time on the Jimmy Kimmel show that Jimmy Kimmel asked Stephen A. Smith, does your sisters watch the show, meaning First Take? And Stephen A. said, do they watch the show? They might as well produce the show. They send text messages all the time saying, say this, say that. And his mom, who was still alive at the time, said that, Stephen, I don't like the way you talk. I didn't raise you that way, etc., etc. So even his own family tries to correct them, saying like, you're being a little too cruel with your takes, your opinions, etc., etc. Because the reality is that Stephen A. Smith, he comes across as someone that doesn't want to admit when he's wrong. He comes across as a guy that he feels that he knows more than everyone about sports. And it's like, come on. Like, even though you're knowledgeable about the sport, that doesn't mean that you, it doesn't mean that nobody can tell you when you're wrong. Like, it just doesn't work that way. And I've noticed there's been times where someone challenges him on national TV. When someone challenges him, he always got to say, well, I've been in this industry for 3 decades, et cetera, et cetera. He always feels like he has to bring his credentials to back it up. Really? Is that really necessary? And again, Stephen A. Smith is a hard worker. He's in the position that he is today because of his hard work, his tenacity, his commitment. And the one thing that he said one time in an interview is that every employer is looking for that one trait in someone. And that's the one if factor. How bad do you want this? Is it when you punch the clock, or is it when the job gets done? And he's right. He's right. But again, I feel that with that being said, with all of those things, you need to be more respectful towards people. When we see these debates and you come across as, oh, like, you know, I know more than everyone, like nobody can tell me what to do, et cetera, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't. I've also saw in interviews before that Stephen A. said that he always wanted to do a late night talk show. And this past Monday, he got to do just that. He hosted the Jimmy Kimmel show. And the man is doing, is living his dream. So we can't hate on him for that. Max Kellerman will do ESPN radio mornings now. I like Max, but at this point, I feel like he doesn't need ESPN anymore. He just doesn't. The man worked for HBO, like I said earlier. He doesn't need ESPN. I feel that Max should learn from Bill Simmons. I feel that Max can do so much better on his own, but at a different company. Thank you for tuning in to the MMM Journal. Make sure you like, subscribe, or comment on this channel.